Today I'm going to be showing you the install of the sexy stalks from Enhauto. Here are the stalks. Additionally, in the box you'll find 2 sets of extra adhesive strips, in the smaller box you'll find the Commander Gen 2 module, a wet wipe to clean your steering column, the wiring harness, and a pry tool to help you remove trim pieces. Clean your steering column with the included wet wipe. Make sure all oils and contaminants are completely removed before installing the stalks. Position the left stalk before removing the adhesive tabs. You'll feel it fit into a small notch. Once you do, pull the adhesive tabs in order, starting with 1. I made a small mistake here and I positioned the number 2 tab towards the front of the car, which the number 2 tab should be positioned towards you and pulled towards you. I had to remove the stalk, as you'll see here, and reposition the number 2 tab facing me. I reapplied it and correctly pulled the number 2 tab toward me. After you've removed both adhesive tabs, you can remove the battery tab and perform the same steps on the right stalk. This time, as you can see, the number 1 tab was pulled out, the number 2 tab was positioned correctly, and I pulled it towards myself. And finally, I pulled the battery tab out. Now both stalks are installed. After they're installed, ensure that your steering wheel has full movement left and right. And as you can see here, the stalks are installed. And they look good. After installing the stalks on the steering column, you need to install the Commander Gen 2 module. You'll start by removing the weather stripping gently. Then using the pry tool, you're going to pry the trim piece off the right side of the glove box. You'll find a small trim retaining clip that you're going to remove with the pry tool. I'll show it here shortly. After you do that, you're going to gently pull up on the carpeted trim piece and remove it, put it off to the side. Once you do that, you can install the wiring harness. You're going to plug the large connector of the wiring harness into the open port. Now you're going to disconnect the smaller connector above the large plug using the pry tool, and you're going to plug the smaller end of the wiring harness into that port and daisy chain the connector into the other side. Once you've done that, you can plug in the Commander and make sure it lights up. Then you'll tuck the wiring harness and the Commander into a spot that will avoid any trim clips or sharp corners. Before reinstalling any of the trim pieces or the weather stripping, you need to install the Commander and the stalks using the Sexy app that you can install from the App Store or from the Play Store. Once you've done that, it's going to prompt you how to install each module. You'll first install the Commander, then the Sexy stalks. And these are just a few settings that I enabled on the Commander and the Sexy Stalks. I chose up as right turn, down as left turn, and the button on the left stalk as my interior lights. In drive mode and in park, I didn't change anything, I just left them the same. For the right stalk, I chose up as drive, down as reverse, and the button for park. And I did that both in drive and park modes. I also added the double press on the button to turn on my low beams. After making sure everything is set up correctly, you can reinstall the trim pieces and weather stripping in reverse order. Here are the stalks in action. Here's a right turn. As you can see, I also set up the LED light strip to flash with the corresponding turn signal. Here's down for reverse, up for drive, and button for park. The install was fairly easy, and I'm really happy with the result.